I make people a lot of money, and probably not the way you think. Okay. You see, clients come to me because they've already figured out how to generate cash. They've already built a business. They already have clients, but they still feel misaligned, or they feel like they've hit a wall or a ceiling. A ceiling would be better. They feel like they've hit a ceiling. And even though their business might be growing, it kind of feels like something is broken, and they can't tell if it's mechanical or if it's mental, or if they're just misaligned, if their pursuit is not in alignment with their disposition, right? And it's tough. Like, it's a really tough place to be when you see money coming in and people are saying how great you are and they love your service, but you still don't feel good about it. It becomes stressful. There's a lot of anxiety involved, and it becomes exhausting because you're spinning your wheels trying to figure out what you can do when you feel like you're already doing everything, right? So here's what I want you to understand, or here's what will be super beneficial to you. There's this concept of MED, minimum effective dose. There's another on the other end of the spectrum is maximal recoverable volume. Okay, MED, MRV. And what that means, minimum effective dose is the least amount of work you have to do to maintain a thing. The maximum recoverable volume is how much work you can do before you burn out. Okay, you have to be aware of these two things. You want to always be operating one of these two ways. You don't want to be in the middle. Okay, so the most important thing, we want MRV. We want to figure out how hard can we work on this thing? How long can we work on this thing without burning ourselves out? Super, super important. And then on the flip side, everything else, we just want minimum effective dose. How do we maintain all the other things in our life? And that is how we operate, okay? So, and if you get confused about this, if you have a hard time, if you want to talk through this, you can go to velocitycall.com. And if you're watching, can somebody just drop a link, velocitycall.com? That'd be awesome. Velocitycall.com, and we'll just talk through these things. Okay. It's a free call. And again, I'll just give you your money back if you feel like, or I'll just pay you money if you feel like I wasted your time. Can't give your money back on a free call, right? So here's an example. An example is just this weekend, 2 days ago on Saturday, we had a client come in and say, hey, I don't know what to do. I got to find a way to get more clients, but it's getting harder and harder and harder, especially because as I branch out, she typically works local. As I branch out, I got to go further and further and further, right? And so what we laid out was all her clients and figure out, you know, how'd you get this one? How'd you get this one? How'd you get this one? And it came out of the woodwork through a series of questioning that one of the clients is a revenue share and underperforming, right? So anyway, we chop it up when we sit down and we comb through and we do what's called our velocity framework, where we identify lowest hanging fruit and how to make the most money with least amount of work. It became crystal clear that the highest leverage, lowest hanging fruit was in getting that underperforming company to perform better, especially because there's a revenue share, right? So it also benefited our client. And then we could spend the rest of the time saying, okay, minimum effective dose for your marketing and sales to acquire new clients. Just put whatever you're doing on autopilot. But we're going to find the MRV, the maximum recoverable volume. How hard can we go on this project? Because this is the highest yield. How hard can we go on this project? What levers can we pull without burning out? Right. And then we do that. And then once we pull those levers and revenues coming in, that is going to be the highest yield on work, hands down. And then once that's established, she'll come back and we will do the process again. We'll go through another velocity day where we determine where do we apply minimum effective dose and where do we apply maximum recoverable volume. And by doing this, you blow through all bottlenecks and barriers, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you kind of understand the MRV, MED framework is super, super important. And it seems like a lot. At first, it's very, very confusing and it can seem overwhelming, but it's not. And if you want help, you go to velocitycall.com. I will spend an hour with you. We'll pull up our screens like this. I will go through everything. I'll go through your business, your personality, identify your disposition, help you find where that low hanging fruit is, right? So if you go to velocitycall.com, there'll just be a quick little page explaining what the heck it is, why we're spending time together, why I'm doing it. And then there's going to be a button and an application. That application, it's super non-intrusive. It's just going to help me figure out where you're at. And then we'll schedule a call. We'll get on a live like this. Not a live, we'll be on like a Zoom so nobody else can watch, but we'll get on a Zoom like this, and we'll spend about an hour and a half together, and we will identify where do you need to apply your maximum recoverable volume, and what else do we put on autopilot, right? It's also been called blast and dust. What do we blast? What do we put in the dust?